Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to go over how to simplify basic equations that involve an x. So let's just jump right into it. Example 1. We want to simplify 16x minus 8. Alright, the first thing I'm looking for is, do we have anything similar? And what I mean by similar is, do we have anything that goes into each other? Do we have multiple x's we can pull out? In this case, 8 and 16 are best friends because 8 goes into 16. But even if they didn't go into one another, 2 goes into both of these, as well as 4. So we're going to pull out the highest number possible that we can that is in both terms. Here, 8 is the highest number we can pull out. So this will leave 2x minus 1. So all I did was pull out an 8 from 16 and an 8 from 8, which left 1. Your sign stays the same and your x will stay in the same spot. All right, for example number 2, we are given x squared plus 2x. So what I'm looking for is, what is similar? Well, I have an x here and here. So we're going to pull out the highest number of x's that show up in both terms, and we're going to put it out front. So I have an x and an x squared, which is the same thing as an x times an x. So I can pull out an x here, which would leave me with 1x, because x times x would give me x squared. Keep your sign the same. We already pulled out him, so we're just left with a 2. All right, so moving on to a new example. Example number 3, we are given 3x squared minus 9x cubed. All right, let's take a look and see what is our highest value for the number that we can take out as well as x. Well, I know that 3 goes into 9, so we can go ahead and pull out a 3, and then the highest number times that x shows up is x squared, because x cubed is x times x times x. X squared is x times x. So we can pull out an x squared, and that will cover these two, leaving 1 behind. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out x squared. Now what are we left with? If I pulled out 3x squared, which is the first term here, I am left with a 1. Keep your sign the same. Now, how many times does 3 go into 9? 3 times. And then we pulled out an x squared. Remember, we were left with 1x, so that's what we're going to leave. Now, if we ever want to check this, let's just go ahead and undo our problem. Let's go ahead and undo our problem. So how do we undo this problem? We're going to multiply our term right back in. So let's start with our first one. 3x squared times 1, well, that gives us a 3x squared. Okay, next one is a 3x squared all the way to this negative 3x, so we know we have a negative number. 3 times 3 gives us 9. An x squared multiplied by an x gives us an x cubed. And this is what we started with. All right, let's move on to another example. And we are given in this one, example number 4, we are given 2x to the 4th power plus 2x minus x to the 4th power plus x. So when we're simplifying this, what we're looking for is terms that are within the same family. Now, how do I know if a term is within the same family as another term? What I'm looking for is, if we are adding and subtracting, they have to be within the same family. So x to the 4th would be the same family as x to the 4th. Same thing as when we have x squared, or x in this case, x and x. So we can go ahead and simplify these terms according to their family. So what I'm going to do is this term is the same thing as this one, and this one the same thing as that one. So what we essentially have is rewriting it 2x to the 4th power. We can minus off the same family. Now we have a positive 2x and then plus x. So all I did was rotate the terms a little bit so they are right next to each other. Makes it a little easier to see. And then to finish it off, we are just going to simplify this term. So what we're going to do is 2x to minus x to the 4th. We can go ahead and just rewrite our x to the 4th because that's not what's actually being subtracted here. What's being subtracted is our 2 and our 1. So 2 minus 1 gives me 1. So you can either write it or leave it empty, which would assume there's always a 1. Moving to your next term, we have a plus in between, so we'll just drop him down. We have a 2x plus x. Once again, we are not adding the x's essentially here, we are adding their leading coefficient. So 2 plus a 1 would give me a 3. So our final answer is x to the 4th power plus 3x. Alright, I hope this helps with simplifying with an x term. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. And until next time.